Hey everybody, welcome to your horoscopes for this week. These are the horoscopes for the week ending July 11th, 2015. And they're very special horoscopes this week as we are celebrating the 13th birthday of our youngest son, Daniel. And we decided to put something special together for him. So if you go through all of the signs in the video, you'll get to see the progression of Daniel from baby to now, as he's almost 13 years old. So we'll say happy birthday to Daniel. But before we do that, we're going to get started with our horoscopes and start as we normally do with Aries. There's a lot going on this week as Uranus forms that nasty old T-square with the Sun, Mars, and Pluto this week. And it is going to make you feel like some of your relationships are getting in the way with you making changes when it comes to your home and being able to shine when it comes to your career. One of those really sticky situations where unfortunately, no matter what you do, it seems like it's just not working for you. However, Uranus is trine with Jupiter and Venus does show you the expansion of the love and support that you do have around you. So this one minor irritation is a minor irritation. There's plenty more things to focus on and definitely a lot more people there to support you and kind of sort of be the inspiration towards new heights and new possibilities. And of course, this aspect is also teaching you that every challenge is just that. There's always something to learn in the challenge. So it's giving you an opportunity to learn something in the process. When the moon comes into your sign from Tuesday through Thursday, it's joining both of these aspects, which is a little bit difficult, but it's also bringing Mercury into the mix too, showing what an awesome communicator you really can be, especially when it comes to fixing these situations with those that you love or these relationships. When you react on an emotional level and out of frustration, it never works in your favor. Working with a clear mind definitely works a lot better for you. So you guys, a little bit of a challenge there, but a lot of help behind that challenge. I know that there's no stopping you guys if you put your mind to it. So you guys have a great week with that. Taurus, let's start off the week with some luck as the part of fortune starts off the week in your sign for the first day of the week, and it's luck in the bank, or when it comes to money this week. The universe is ready to show you all the different ways that he gives you the abundance that you deserve, and there's definitely a lot of abundance out there for you if you're willing to open your mind and your heart and be able to receive it. And it comes in so many different ways. The moon coming into your sign this week on Thursday through the end of the week is going to start off with some beautiful aspects with Venus, Jupiter, the Sun, and Mars, giving you some beautiful abilities and opportunities to shine when it comes to your career, as well as expanding the love and support that you have around you. You'll clearly see all the people that are standing there waiting to be there and support you. But by Saturday, as the moon moves into opposition with Jupiter and Venus, it's going to seem a little bit the opposite. It'll feel a little bit like there is nobody around to support you, and it's definitely going to make you feel frustrated and obviously make you feel like there's really no reason to be doing this. But the lesson in this aspect is really all about giving yourself that love and support, because you need to be able to do that. You don't have to have people there to validate what it is that you're doing. And to be honest with you, if that's what you need in order to understand that what you're doing is the right thing to do, then unfortunately you're going to fall short many times, because there's going to be many opportunities where those people just aren't there. So don't allow temporary emotions to make decisions for you. It's only going to last for a day, and then once it's over, everything is going to be smooth sailing again, and you don't want to allow your hurt or frustration to cause an argument with anybody. By the next day, everything is going to be smooth sailing, and you're going to be back in the saddle again. So you guys have a great week with that. Gemini, this week is the last week that Mercury is going to be in your sign, and as he's spending the last few days in your sign, the last of his grand sextile with Uranus, Jupiter, and Venus is showing you just how much of a leader you are truly, as much as anybody else. This week's aspects are really going to show you what you can achieve when you leave the self-doubt and the fear at the door and just go for it and be the leader that you know that you can be. This energy is beautiful in helping you communicate what you need to communicate in order to rally the troops together for the common goal and get things taken care of. And you'll definitely learn how much power you truly have as a leader by just getting up and doing what needs to be done. If there is no leader around, it's time for somebody to step up, and there's no one better to step up than a Gemini because you got it all under control. This is also going to help you and provide all of the possibilities of bringing people together to help you manifest all of these different ideas, because you can't do them all yourself. You're going to have help. You definitely have the help. Now it's time to be that leader. Stand up on your own 2 feet and make those dreams happen. And I know you can do it too. You guys have a great week with that. Cancer, happy birthday to all the Cancers born this week, especially our number 1 Cancer, Daniel, our youngest son, our baby, who's turning 13 years old on Friday, officially a teenager. It's been in the blink of an eye, as these things usually do. And Daniel is going to be spending his birthday with his grandma, as he normally does in the summertime. So Daniel, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic birthday. And I know that your grandma is spoiling you rotten because, well, she was my grandma before she was your grandma. And as for the rest of the Cancers this week, there is going to be some difficulty as the Sun and Mars are in T-squared position with Pluto and Uranus. And towards the end of the week, Mercury is also going to join this aspect as well. This is going to cause a difficulty for sure all week long, as it feels like what you're trying to do for yourself and accomplish for yourself in your career is, unfortunately, you're going to have to do this the hard way, because it seems like your relationships and home life and difficulties in those areas are getting in the way of you being able to be successful in your career. And on an emotional level, how can you focus on the awesomeness of your career if you're plagued with all of these other personal issues? It's very difficult to not allow all of those things to get in the way, but at the same time, they always seem to. It's just when it hurts your heart, it's always on your mind. At the same time, though, the bottom line is you do definitely owe it to these people to succeed, as you are helping them out at the same time. And in some cases, we've talked about this before, you have to let them do what they need to do in order to learn that they can do it. One of the best lessons you're going to teach these people, especially the ones that tend to be really, really needy and don't need to be, is how to be successful. And that means that you have to be successful. It means that you have to get through all of the obstacles in order to shine when it comes to what you do. And as those people see you do that, they also learn and understand that they can do it themselves. And it's definitely a much easier way of teaching something like this when they don't listen, as the case may be with some people, like children and stuff like that. So you guys, don't let the emotions and the difficulties of anything that's outside of your work get too much in the way of your work this week. You have the right to shine when it comes to your dreams and goals, and nobody can stop you from doing that. So you guys have a great week with that. Leo, the moon's position at the beginning of the week, as it forms a T-square with Jupiter and Venus and also Saturn, is definitely going to make the week start off with a little bit of a rocky start, especially as this aspect makes you feel like you're dealing with old patterns, old issues when it comes to not feeling the love that you put out to others reciprocated back at you. And this is a very, very, very deep, deep, deep root for you guys in many, many, many cases. When the situation pops up in the physical or the now time, it's definitely something that's coming up to mimic what happened in the past, in order to show you that the pain of the past still exists somewhere inside of you on an internal level. And you can't keep that pain inside of you on that internal level, because it causes all kinds of damage to the body, and even psychologically causes a lot of issues as well. Now, by Monday, this T-square is just a square with Saturn, and it's going to be a lot less emotionally evasive. And at the same time, Venus and Jupiter's trine with Uranus shows you the relationships that you do have that are extremely successful and very much there for you, to support you, to be there for you, show you a kick-ass time, whatever it is that you need. Bottom line with all of this here is, you need to celebrate you. Celebrate what you can do. Celebrate the beautiful heart that you have. All the things that you do for other people. And as you're celebrating, you're manifesting this beautiful power that's going to draw everybody to you to celebrate with you. And then you have your own personal celebration that's just absolutely fantastic. So you guys have a great week with that. Virgo, the dark moon in your sign this week is helping to pull some of those roots for you this week. An uncomfortable process that nobody really wants to go through, but it's necessary in order for our own personal growth and development in so many ways. We all kind of, every sign has a chance at least 3 to 4 weeks to go through this process, specifically where you're at right now. And it can be a very difficult process, especially as you're feeling situations that are coming up that mimic past pains, and those situations come up to mimic those past pains to help you identify that those past pains still exist inside of you. Though this internal process is not a pleasant experience, keeping these things inside only creates problems for you, and on a health level, as it causes internal damage, and also a psychological level as well, as you keep holding on to negative thought patterns. By being able to identify these roots and let the old feelings go, you free yourself from so many different things that you don't need to be a prisoner to anymore. They've happened in the past, and it's time to leave them in the past. But you have to let go of how you feel in order to truly leave it in the past. So you guys, yes, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I also understand that you guys can rock it, and you deserve to be the absolute best that you can be. So you guys have a great week with that. Libra, it's all about you this week, Libra, and it's all about celebrating your own success this week. And who's going to celebrate your successes better than you when it comes down to it? This is not a selfish thing. This is a self-love and self-appreciation thing that every single person needs to do from time to time. If you're looking for validation from other people of your work, you're going to fall short every single time. They're not going to give you what it is that you want. But if you look at your work and you say, damn, that looks great, you're proud of yourself, and you're not going to get any validation better than that. You deserve to give that to yourself. And again, nobody is going to be prouder of you than you are, because you're the one that's lived it. You're the one that did it, and you're the one that's awesome. And everybody else, unfortunately, they don't understand what that feels like on your level. So you guys, it's all about you. Celebrate you, and have a great week with that. Scorpio, a Saturn squared position with Jupiter and Venus this week makes things really heavy, as it feels like you're dealing with the same old again when it comes to some of your relationships, and those especially that are supposed to be there to support you, that seem to be falling short in that responsibility, as well as instances of responsibilities being placed on you that maybe you don't think are your responsibilities. This happens all the time. People do manipulate other people by handing over responsibilities to them and then kind of making them feel bad unless they take that responsibility. But you don't have to take it. This week is all about identifying what responsibilities are indeed yours and not taking on the responsibilities of others, especially on an emotional level. And it's not okay to cut yourself off from feeling the emotions of everybody around you. Really, actually, you need to do that for yourself. Bubble yourself and block it out. When it comes down to it, As the week comes to an end, the moon moves into position to turn this square into a T-square, where it even feels like your own personal goals and even personal development, you're just not going to get there because of this particular relationship issue. It's one of those circumstances where it feels like the person is just in your face, in your face, in your face, in your face through the whole thing. But this aspect is teaching you a very important lesson, all about not allowing obstacles to stand in your way of getting the success that you know that you deserve. If someone else's opinion is that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, allow them to have the time to give their opinion, but you do what you want to do because it is your life. And if they don't like it, they have that right not to like it. What they don't have is the right to make you change. They can't. You're the one that's going to make that choice. So those words, I can't do it because of this person, are invalid. You can do whatever you want and nobody is going to stand in your way. So you guys have a good week with that. Sagittarius, it's all about your thoughts this week. And the Sagittarian mind can take a thought in 10,000 different directions at any given time, whether it's a good thought or a bad thought. Whether you're coming up with some fantastic and really exciting ideas or brainstorming, or whether you are caught in a situation on an emotional level that you tend to want to rationalize, you can take that thought in so many different directions that you wind up confused every single time. And this week it really is all about not doing that. It definitely isn't going to help you out any by doing that, unfortunately. When it's a difficult situation or a situation on an emotional level that's bothering you, overanalyzing it is not going to help the situation. Overthinking the situation is definitely not going to help the situation. It's going to make it worse. On a positive note, having a fantastic idea and then keeping it in your head and thinking about all the different possibilities that it can go in will leave you forgetting what the initial idea was in the first place. It's definitely a good thing to write these ideas down and then do some brainstorming and record those things that are coming up in around this idea. And when it comes to something internal, give yourself the permission to feel what you feel and then let it go and release it. If you need to fix the situation, fix the situation. But by doing both of these things, either way, you're being proactive and allowing yourself to be able to fix the situation or do something with the situation rather than losing the situation or letting those thoughts take over your whole entire day. You don't get very much done if you're busy stuck in your head on something that's either bothering you or something that you want to do but you don't think that you can do. So you guys, do a good job with that. Get out of your heads this week. Come out to the rest of the world and see we're really all not that bad. And have a great week with that. Capricorn, Pluto's position in the T-square with the Sun, Mars, and Uranus is also going to be joined by Mercury this week, and it is going to be difficult when it seems like you just can't make changes to the foundation of your plans when it comes to your career and in some cases your relationships. It seems that some of the relationships involved in your professional life can be a little bit difficult, or you're having some difficulties there, or perhaps those people just don't seem to want to do what it is that they're supposed to do. And this is going to be very frustrating for the Capricorn that just does what needs to be done. Unfortunately, not everybody is like you. I would have to say personally, I wish there was a little bit more Capricorn in me sometimes. I think I'd get a lot more done. But not everybody is like that, unfortunately. However, Pluto's aspect with Neptune this week does show you on a deeper level those that you've always supported being there to support you. And it really isn't the horrible, horrendous aspect that you think it is. It may seem like everything that you've built is going to fall apart because you have to rely on these unreliable people. But really, it's not. And this challenge is coming to you to show you the bigger and better things that are behind the challenge. a lot of times personal growth needs this emotional breakdown or challenge or frustration in order to manifest something absolutely glorious afterwards, because we just weren't looking at this absolute glorious thing until the frustration came in. So really, the difficulty can provide a beautiful opportunity to make things even bigger and better than they were before. So you guys, don't get too caught up in the frustration of what's going on. See how much you really can grow without the persons that are frustrating you, and give them some space. They just might need some space or some time to get over some things themselves and move on. You never know. Everybody's going through something at some point. And by using and tapping into that intuition with Neptune, you help to also understand that on a deeper level as well. So you guys keep doing those awesome things and have a great week with that. Aquarius, it's all about those that you love this week, and it's really understanding the powerful intuition that you have when it comes to these very important people in your life. In fact, most Aquarians, their intuition is strongest the closer they are to the person. And it's such a beautiful intuition. It almost allows you to care for those people before they even know what they need, which is something that's absolutely fantastic about many Aquarians, that they can do that. But at the same time, your intuition on an emotional level with these people is the most painful. With random people, you get it, you feel it, even as an empath. If you are an empath, you'll feel it in some way, but it doesn't hurt you as deeply as it does those that you love the most. And the reason is because it mirrors a hurt inside of us, and we can truly feel it from them because of the love that we have for them. So because of this, as non-feeling or self-proclaimed non-feeling Aquarians tend to not use our intuition or shy away from our intuition with those that we love in an effort to avoid feeling that altogether. But it is a really important part of your own personal growth. So this week it really is all about using that intuition and opening yourself up to feeling the feelings of those that you love. You need to do this in order to truly understand where they're coming from, and also where you're coming from in many situations at the same time. It may not be the most comfortable thing in the world, but it definitely makes you a much better and stronger individual in the process. So you guys have a good week with that. And finally, Pisces. The moon kicks off the week in your sign, and unfortunately, as she forms a T-square with Saturn, the Sun, and Mars at the very beginning of the week, she is going to make some difficulties for you on an emotional level when you get that old, unreciprocated love feeling from those that you put the most love and time into. And that can be very frustrating and very, very painful, because at the moment you feel like you put so much and so much and so much into these people, and you're just not getting a lick of it back from them. But at the same time, this pain, in the typical Pisces way, this pain gives you an opportunity to turn this obstacle into something brilliant. As she moves out of your sign, and Neptune is trine with the Sun, Mars, and Mercury throughout the entire week. This trine allows you to shine and put this energy and the energy of those obstacles and those feelings into something that you can be known for, into something that's really a part of your own growth and opportunity. And it also allows and gives other people an opportunity to learn and grow right alongside you. Proof that these obstacles are not all about stopping you in your tracks from doing what you need to do, but giving you something to work with so that you can make something wonderful out of it. And the truth is, if everything was just handed to you all the time, you really wouldn't have the opportunities that you could have, because you wouldn't put the effort into it like you would if you had to really work through it. So you guys, that little obstacle in the beginning of the week might be a little bit difficult, but you can take that and run with it and turn it into something amazing. And I know you guys can do it. So have a great week with that. Thanks again for listening to the horoscopes this week. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Don't forget to check out our group, facebook.com/groups/Grateful Fairy Wings Faithfuls. We've got some classes coming up in mediumship, personal development, and astrology coming up this next week, as a matter of fact. So don't forget to come check us out, see what time those classes are, and see if you can get signed up and learn how to be a medium yourself, or maybe even how to do astrology yourself. You never know how awesome you can be if you don't try. Thanks again for watching, and I will be seeing you guys next week. Have a good one.